And we're live. Hello and welcome to this glorious day in Hex Therapy and Hex cryptocurrency. I'm your host and entertainment therapist, Maddie ALLin, and I'm here with two special Hexicans, Patrick HEXLion and Abit. How's it going, guys?
Hey, man.
It's awesome. It's awesome to be a Hexican. We have such a good time here, actually. So yeah, it's. I can't put it in words. It's just unbelievable what the Hex prize can do if people are really putting attention to it.
The thing is, back then with Hex, I was a total pleb, right? I didn't know what I did. Like 500 stake. This is crazy, and I have a monthly staking ladder that's crazy as well. But now I have the feeling that I'm totally in control of what is happening. Like I'm sacrificing, and then I'm adjusting my plan and say, okay, I don't sacrifice so much now. I will rather sacrifice later because the price is going higher and higher. I'm just saying I have the feeling that we are in control of our money right now, and this is just beautiful. Thank you, Richard Hart, for doing such an amazing job.
Yeah,
Thank
same
you,
for Richard Hart. Shout out for Richard Hart. It's just unbelievable what he designed here. It's such a good design, and we will have even more and more fun with it in the coming years.
And the great thing is we have a lot coming out in the next couple of months. Like right now we are in Florida in the center and just on the lake. It's really quiet. We are concentrating on onboarding people in the German community, and it is going so awesome. The viewers we had today were the highest numbers we ever had, just like the price in Hex. It's crazy.
That's amazing. So I can't wait to get into more details and interview you guys more about all the surprises that you have coming out soon, and about your history with Hex too. I think is really valuable and insightful, and I know that you guys are another example of Hexicans who are doing what's right and doing what's healthy for yourselves and others. And so that's one of the things we talk about on Hex Therapy. I'm going to hit the intro, and then we'll have some more guests join us too. Thanks for being here, guys.
Awesome. Cool.
Hey, what's going on, Future Us?
Oh,
He's
your mic
still
is
muted.
Well, that's just the fun of live streaming. You are muted, man.
Yep. Press the unmute button.
Oh, he doesn't know what's going on.
Unmute yourself, man. Yes, here we go.
I was just playing with you. I was just messing with you.
Hey guys, can you remember when Richard Hart checked the Bitcoin sacrifice and he thought it what was like $250 million, but then at the end, how much was it?
Yeah, 1,000x less because it's like in million Satoshi or something like that.
I've been thinking about that. I think that was a signal.
Yeah.
This is the signal that we are early.
250,000.
This is the signal that we are early in cryptocurrency because this was just a bad default in this Ethereum. Now, what wallet was it?
Yeah, in the
Electrum. Yeah,
So
it goes in millibits.
Things we know that blockchains are just crappy. We just see it right now.
Well, and it's not every day. It's not every day that you have a billionaire who's like checking a random, wallet balance, and he's probably used to seeing tens of thousands of bitcoins in his wallets. So it was no surprise when he saw probably thousands of millibits.
Let's see. Now each and every Bitcoin maxi out there has another time, the opportunity of a lifetime to get into a real good asset, not just in a good asset or in a former good asset, in the next shiny thing, you should get in the next shiny thing. Richard Hart projects tend to go up.
See, this is where the Bitcoin disperses into zeros and ones, and then it comes out as Hex on the other side.
I thought Pulse.
Yes.
Well, a lot of people tell me, "Hey, man, you're doing a great job. Stay as you are," right? But today I had a moment when I was arguing with the Bitcoin guy, and then I realized, oh man, I became the Bitcoin maxi, but just for Hex. I'm the Hex maxi now, and I had to apologize to him and said, "Man, you're right. Let's go. We're both in crypto, and we're gonna rock that shit." But what is happening right now is the Bitcoin guys, they're just losing buying power because Hex is going up so crazy.
Yeah, the price didn't apologize, that's for sure.
I got some great advice from a friend the other day, though. He said, well, what goes up has to come down. I guess he stopped learning after those nursery rhymes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I always had, like, I had people waiting to reach 0.1 cent. I had people waiting to reach 0.2 cent again. I had a lot of people waiting. No, it will go down to a cent again, and then I buy in. Right now, I receive messages. Do you think the price will go down that I can buy like a dip? I say, like, yeah, 15 cents seems to be the dip like right now. I mean, we are over 15 cents, so. Looks like to be the tip right now, actually.
Maddie, I'm sharing my screen here. I want to show the community the state of the art of the Bitcoin wallet space.
Ooh, let's see it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, this is Electrum.
Yeah, you can see they've got some pretty amazing features going on here. They show a date and the amount and a balance.
And a list. Wow.
Yeah, and after it got to about here, the total balance down here stopped totaling, and now it only shows this one for some reason.
Now is this part of Bitcoin?
This is it's probably not fair to say it's the premium Bitcoin wallet, but it's a well-known, well-trusted, and very heavily used Bitcoin wallet.
This is the wallet that I used to free claim my Hex. I mean, not this wallet, but Electrum.
It has a few features that for importing XPub keys and bits and pieces and things you can do that the Bitcoin Core, the full node wallet, doesn't have. But hey, you haven't seen the best of it yet. Look, you can send. Isn't that amazing? Look at this layout. Look at this layout.
Oh wow!
It's incredible.
Where's the time locking function?
I think this is the selfie button.
Okay. So I can
picture of a camera.
So there's more.
So you can KYC.
Like a receipt, right? Awesome.
And then, but of course, the thing everybody's here to see, of course, is here it comes. This is it. This is how you receive millions of dollars in Bitcoin. Isn't that awesome? Look at the space for potential here.
I came for a big reveal. Is this the big reveal with Bitcoin?
This is state of the art, man. What's wrong with you? But here's the thing, though, right? So, like, if there's things in here that you can't do with these three buttons, and I can't imagine what, but there's this thing they have here, the console, where you can really start getting into it. Oh no, you can't get help. Oh, that's right. I have to put. Here we go. So look, you can serialize and you can. Lightning history. Oh, let's try that. I got to try that. Lightning history. I think I have to put that. Yeah, that seems about right. So there it is, guys.
I'm sorry, future us. I don't think this Bitcoin thing is everything that it was promised to be.
Oh, but this is just one. This is just one sort of view of it. There's other ways to look at it too, and some of them are different colors. Well, like the
Is the price gonna go up?
I'll download Bitcoin Core and sync it up for you, and I'll show you. I mean that's whew. Just give me. Usually takes about 3 months to sync the chain, and then I'll show you. It's awesome.
Oh wow. I think, well, I mean, Bitcoin, though, it's just so great. Like, it's okay that it doesn't work and then it doesn't have very many features, right? Because it's always going to be number one, right? Is that what you guys think?
Hey, good evening, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm very well, guys. How are you?
Hey, good to see you.
Hello.
Thanks for having me on. was glad I could make it.
And matter of fact, I think we are creating the future right now by promoting HEX, by promoting Pulse, and by doing a sacrifice. We are building our own future, and this is just so beautiful. With no other coin, you could do that, right?
No, it's hard to believe. I've been watching figures go up, right, over the last 18 months, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm so fortunate to have discovered this. And I've been listening to Whales go, this ain't no joke. And I'm like, that dude's serious. And I woke up this morning and I looked at the figures again and I'm like, hey man, this ain't no joke. I mean, it's starting to get real, you know? Wow.
I think I've been dealing with sudden wealth syndrome the last 2.5, 3 days.
You came to the right place. We love talking about that here on HEX Therapy.
The value of those shares are so freaking high right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, between the T-shares and just the daily payout and just watching the numbers go up as quickly and as dramatically as they are in some people's cases is just
today
I've never witnessed something like this in my life, and it's like this is happening to me, and it's like comprehending that.
At first, I sacrificed something today, then I reloaded my stake app, and it was still showing new all-time highs. Like after sacrificing some X,
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And today we had an interview with the biggest German YouTuber back then. He started 2017, and he was the first guy to speak in German for like Bitcoin and whatever, Bitcoin Cash. And we had him on his show today. He is the day one Hexican. He knew Hex inside out. He knew Richard Hart.
He had an interview with Richard Hart back in the beginning of February 2020.
And he said only the nicest things about Hex. It was so amazing.
Nice.
And just like everything, the numbers go up. Not only the price, not only the viewership, but everything as well too. It's just great.
Yeah, we made a live
go up in the numbers go up in every language. In fact.
Yeah.
Oh yes, numbers are international language. And the US dollar versus HEX, everybody can understand, because everybody, even Europeans, can make something in their brain, with US dollars. So, for example, Swiss franc is in Switzerland, there are like 1-to-1 against the dollar, and with the euro, a lot of people know the exchange rate as well.
So is it Tim and I? Are we the only ones who have been experiencing sudden wealth syndrome and been shocked and on this emotional roller coaster?
Emotional roller coaster. That's a nice way to frame it.
Well, it happened to me too, definitely. Since Vegas, I'm not the same person anymore. I have the feeling that somehow my balls grow so much in Vegas that I'm so determined now to promote HEX, and I'm screaming it out, and it works. The people are now calling me, asking for HEX and informations and links and whatever. And this is just beautiful. I'm having an awesome time the last 2 days. It's great.
It's just the heat. And because you can't wear underwear in Vegas because you'll die from the heat, and it makes you think that. So I'm sure they'll shrink back again when you get back to Germany and places like that.
I will never go back to Germany. You will stay here in America for the next few months at least.
Hey, Toby Juan, good to see you. You're one of the Hexicans that's a premier onboarder, and I know that you really have a passion and a skill for that. Is that something you could speak about here?
Sure, absolutely. Good to see you guys. Thanks for the invite, Maddie. It's good to see you. I'm always doing my best to try to keep up with Kareem. It's like I think everybody understands Kareem is the, excuse the pun, the Kareem of the crop when it comes to onboarding. But yeah, it's like it's fun. It's like I'm pedantic by nature, for better or worse. I've been called that by a couple of ex-girlfriends, so maybe that's not good in those situations. But I like to teach, and if I feel like I have something of value, then it's always exciting to try to share that. And I've always been a big math nerd, so it's been exciting to be able to share like this really cool math thing that our genius founder Richard Hart has come up with. And just the core of it, the heart of it, no pun intended there either. With the altruistic nature of the Hexican community and the way the coin functions with delayed gratification and all these things. So it just ticks all the boxes for me. So I've always been really good at sales, but the thing that was difficult for me is that a lot of times I wasn't really excited about what I was selling. So with this, it's a no-brainer, because it's something I really believe in. So it just comes across really easy. And it's no fun getting rich alone, So if you can get some other people in, and I'm happy to report that I have several of my onboards that are now officially millionaires, which is super exciting. Yeah, super exciting. So I've been getting some really grateful messages from a lot of them. And one that was a little disturbing, because he is a very, very muscular man, about 6'5", and he messaged me today and said, if you were in front of me right now, I would kiss you on the mouth. And that is something my fiance would be very upset about, and as would I. but yeah, it's been a fun time.
Lift you up and kiss you.
Yeah, it's like, you little man, I will kiss you on the mouth. I will sit you down. That's my bad German impersonation. I apologize. But hey, I did want to say, Maddie, it was so nice to meet you out in Vegas. That was a super fun time. I came last minute. I had some things that were kind of holding up whether I was going to be able to come or not. And I was able to participate to a small degree to kind of help out with some stuff at the end of the stream before the announcement of the winner. And that was fun with Nerd Girl and with Joe Hexotic and you and Kareem and RG and everybody. And then I got to hang out and actually went and played some. I got to play some poker. Yeah, with Patrick and Avit, got to hang out with them a little bit. I got to meet Tim, which was a joy. He's very, very funny, just very charming guy. And I went and played poker. I never, ever have played poker in a casino. I ended up losing about $250, so I would not recommend it. However, folks, I did go and play blackjack later that evening and did unbelievably well, and actually played until morning. And also one of those things, it's gambling. It's a fluke, but I made over $10,000 gambling. I got the little IRS sheet from the Gold Nugget Casino to prove it, which sucks because, they got to get their cut. But I immediately put that into Hex, and I'm happy to report that it is doing quite well, as you could all imagine. And that was in my... Not as much of a gamble, eh? Exactly. So I took something that was not a sure bet into something that is.
Already more than the doubling, right? That's 10K already made more than the doubling. Nice.
Yep. It's been great, man. And it's like that was in my liquid bag that I was preparing to sacrifice, so that kind of juiced that up a little bit. So that was a nice surprise. And now I'm just, doing like the rest of you, just kind of excited to see kind of how it's unfolding, seeing exactly how I want to, get my sacrifice in there. I did a little bit yesterday, and I did a little bit more today. And
I'm also like dollar cost averaging in, because nobody knows where it will be the highest point. Of course, you can snipe if you want to, but you need to do something,
Exactly.
I made one or two sacrifices. Hey, go ahead if you want to.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, it's like I did one last night. I think I FOMO'd a little bit. I wanted to do one on day one anyhow, but, I was excited. It was fun to be able to get in right away. And, so I did, maybe 20% of my liquid last night. And then I did maybe another 5% of my liquid this morning. And then unfortunately, I didn't do it within 30 minutes of that 22-cent spike. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was remarkable, and would have loved to have that be part of my time-weighted average, but yeah, that was not my luck with that. But I'm visiting friends. I'm out of town. I'm trying to take better care of myself. I was really stressed out, overworked, and having some health issues. Nothing too major. Thankfully, it's all kind of under control. But got to get out of town for a little bit. Went to the beach today with some friends of mine. I'm heading back home tomorrow. But Maddie had invited me to come on, so I wanted to try to pop in for a little bit. And I do have a couple quick things, if I could, Maddie. Tomorrow, believe it or not, the long-awaited Hexaco full-length music video is coming out tomorrow. We're going to release that on Discourse Syndicate. I think you all be very pleased with how it's turned out, and you'll understand why it took a little longer than expected. We were waiting on a very special guest that I think you guys will. It's super cool, dude. It's like I'm really proud of it. We've got a couple final touches that my editor is putting on it today. Go follow him on Twitter. It's Robous. It's ROBOUS. Relatively new to Twitter, but really great guy. I've known since I was a teenager. Fantastic video editor. And he'll be helping me with some future projects. And then I'm going to be Joe Hexotic's guest on Monday. So that, just the timing of that worked out really fun. So that's going to be exciting to talk about my own personal story and, you know, kind of how I came to where I am today, personally and otherwise. And yeah, and it's like, I'm just geeking out, man. I'm just so excited and looking forward. But basically, as far as what you're getting to go toward, I think ABIT, as far as the dollar cost averaging, Patrick and you, that's kind of what I was planning for the first 5 days. So right now, what I'm looking at doing is about 90% of my liquid. I'm dollar cost averaging that in bits and pieces throughout the first 5 days. And then I'm considering keeping about 10% of my liquid in case there's some crazy runaway day that beats the bonding curve. To maybe try to chunk it in that way. But the thing is like the dollar value that I had planned on investing, I've already surpassed it just because, you know what I mean? It's like I had a bag of liquid aside and I'm like, okay, well, if it hits this price, it'll be worth this much money. I think I'm okay sacrificing that amount of US dollar value. And then it's already surpassed it. So even it's crazy. So it's like, I'm like, well, I mean, I was gonna sacrifice that much hex anyhow. I just need to ignore how much USD it's actually worth now, and fuck it. Pardon my language. It's like
I have my hex bags, so I have made these calculations for myself according to my hex amount. So I don't look at the US dollar value. I mean, I look at the chart, and that's why I'm dollar cost averaging in, and I really enjoying myself to like. If I always get a little bit more, I like it, you know. There is that's exactly. the good thing about dollar cost averaging in, even if the price goes up more and more and more. You are not sad that like your first little buy is, I don't know, was like 50% less.
Right.
But you're still feeling good, you know, because you're getting a good average.
And the feeling I'm having is I only sacrificed one of those days, you know, and then just a little bit more when the price rose just a couple of hours ago, and I'm already feeling I'm getting a good deal on Pulse. And even if the price is going down from now on, then I made the first step already, and I'm in Pulse. I'm on the first day of Pulse and foaming in right now. It's beautiful.
Right. Well, and also from like being a trader previously, it's like, you know, I know that feeling, like that feeling in your stomach where you're going to try to snipe and you're going to try to pick the top or a bottom and you're going to try to, and it's nerve wracking. It's crazy making. So the dollar cost averaging really takes that out. And especially with the way that he has it designed, you know, it's like if you dollar cost average in those first 5 days, it's like, it really seems to me like you're going to end up very, very pleased with what you end up having, and it just takes a lot of the stress out, you know. So I mean, yeah, maybe, you know, day one wasn't the best day necessarily, but we don't know that yet, you know. I mean, it could be a situation to where, you know, it peaks on day 5 and then we come back down and we hit 10 cents again before we take off. I mean, who's to say? So I mean, to dollar cost average is just a better feeling.
Exactly. And the difference compared to the first days of Hex, what I did there, I didn't FOMO'd in like on day one that time. I really stick to my plan. I made like my parts, and I'm going to put a part each day. And if I'm like seeing a huge spike up, then I might do like a second part within a 24-hour period. But I stick to my part, and I don't go over FOMOing it in the first day. It's
hey, two questions for you guys.
So one question I've got
sure.
is, am I the only one who made a steak today? I had to. I mean, like, I was looking at how much liquid hex I have, and I was looking at how much the price went up, and I was like, look, I better do this before I change my mind.
Yeah, that's a good call, dude. I made a stake last week. Actually, I made 2 stakes last week, and not small ones either. I had a rather large stake coming out from early on, and I restaked them both. I think one was for 7 years and one was for 8 years to fill in some gaps in my staking ladder. And it was not a small amount that I threw down the road, because I mean it just makes sense. You know, the passive income just makes sense.
I mean, I'm grouping together my hex and make a giant hex stake each and every 6 months,
Awesome.
because I'm already realizing that doing a monthly ladder in the first place was a bit too much.
Yeah, you have to travel with your ledger all the time, and that's just not
Right.
feasible for the long term.
Yeah, I did way too many stakes in the first 2 years. And I did some stakes that were really small, like embarrassingly small. I mean, luckily I ended them before big payday and kind of, you know, figured that shit out prior to. But you know, I think a lot of us were just kind of winging it at the beginning until we understood T-shares and understood the laddering. And like for me personally, you know, like when I came across Brennan's or Brianna's spreadsheet, that was really an eye opener for me. And then Juan worked on it, and then I worked on it to simplify it. So that's out there on Google Docs. It's like you guys can hit me up on Telegram, and I'd be glad to share that. And then Maddie, I think it was on your channel that you guys shared a Google Doc recently that showed the bonding curve and kind of to help you with strategy for the sacrifice. Is that correct?
Yeah, we share lots of stuff on here, and
dude, that thing is awesome.
That we got that from.
Holy moly, dude, that thing is, and like I'm on vacation and I'm trying to like be in the moment with my friends and like we're trying to go to the beach and go to dinner and whatever, and it's like I'm looking at this spreadsheet like geeking out. It was so cool, and I can't wait to dig into that more when I get home tomorrow. But 2 other things, if I may, not to monopolize your guys' time, but I got to pack it in, and then I want to chill for a little bit with you guys, and then I got to bounce. But 2 things, and I guess this is in a weird way a compliment, but I guess I have some impersonators seemingly popping up on Telegram. I've had 2 situations now where someone mentioned it in chat, and then someone private messaged me that a Toby Juan had contacted them through DM. So just publicly, I want to declare here, and I've changed my handle there, that I will never DM anyone first unless I'm contacting them about an issue around a ban. I'm an admin on the HEX main chat.
Be aware of people scamming you. A lot of people
there's a lot.
The market try to scam
So
you.
when I sent all my money to you the other day, what was that?
Maddie, yours is safe. Don't worry. But no, So the thing is like, and Maddie, I'm sure you've probably already run into this. I know Kareem had run into it a while back. So maybe it's kind of a testament to like my name being a little more known now. But it's like basically everyone just needs to be aware.
So like one thing you have to watch out for is don't ever go with somebody who's trying to give you support who's not doing so publicly, right? So if HEX support messages you, don't give them any information. Don't let them access your computer. Don't give them your seed words, right? Nobody should ever ask you for your secret seed words. Emphasis on secret. Only you knowing the secret ever, right? Another scam that can be perpetrated is somebody contacts you and says that they got phished by somebody else, and don't you feel bad for them that they lost their life savings? And then they start to extract money from you, so because you feel bad, you're gonna send them a little bit of money to help them out. So what we want to do is we want to educate people, and then let the immutable money do what it does. So.
Exactly. And I think that second one, like the first one was someone in chat said, "Hey, did you DM me?" And I said, "No, I didn't." I said, the only reason I would DM anyone first is if they've been banned and we're working through a ban situation on PulseChain channel or the HEX main chat. And then the other one was something like you just said, Maddie, which I hadn't really heard of before, where it was kind of this ploy of like, hey, it's like after our conversation yesterday, and I did what you said, then I lost $2,000 out of my Coinbase, and I'm not saying you did it, but I'm in a real bad situation. So it was probably one of those type of where they were trying to scam me, but it just kind of made me aware that maybe there is a Toby one that's like not me, that's reaching out to people. So I mean, and I'm not the guy that you want to talk to about OPSEC. That's RG3, that's Maddie, that's whales only. It's like I'm a real bread and butter kind of guy. I do things a certain way that work for me. I don't know about all these other wallets and all the other ways to do things. I do things a very specific way, and I don't talk to people about that. And I mean, maybe in person I share with people how I do my own, but that's not something I talk about publicly ever.
Well, can I ask you a favor while you're on the topic of onboarding and you know, all the work that you do for the community? It would be really great if I could get your feedback on tshare.app. When you
oh my God, dude. I've got about maybe a half a dozen people since I saw you to download T-Share and do the claw game. It's fantastic. It's just like so fun. And, you know, I mean, it's so easy. It's the gamification, I think, is really clever and simple. And, you know, and before you know it, you've kind of helped someone start down the path of delayed gratification and kind of paying their future self, right? And
Yes.
and I'm really super impressed with that. And it's so nice to have another like well-known, well-respected community member that has helped facilitate this new front end, you know, because like Richard himself has said, if something ever happened to him, it doesn't matter. It's like the contract goes on. If that front end goes down, there's other ways to interact with the contract. God willing, we have Richard around forever with the help of the Sens Foundation, because I love that dude and I gain so much more from him than what he does for Hex and or Pulse. You know, but it's nice to have, you know, guys like Maddie that are stepping up and doing these things to help the community along. And the tshare.app, if you guys are watching now and haven't tried it, do it. It's just fun. You know what I mean? You can do a 5-year, a 10-year, or a 15-year stake, just depending on where you drop your claw. And I think after you drop your claw, Maddie, can you change your length, or is that what you get?
Yeah, you can play the 15-second game again and choose a different size heart, small, medium, or large, and that corresponds to 5, 10, or 15-year stake, even though you haven't scared the person off already with too much information, too many numbers, too many words. It's just like, oh, okay.
Well, right. And timing wise, now what's been so cool is because they got in like between like over the last maybe 10 days after I saw you in Vegas, and actually Maddie and I did mine together. Like I got like the 101 tutorial, so I was very honored that Maddie himself showed me like, hey, here's what you do, man, and like I did the thing, and it was super fun. And so I showed some other people, and they've done it. And what's so awesome with them is that they're seeing the growth already, you know, like crazy growth, which, you know, because of what's happening now. So I'm explaining to them like, hey, I'm like, it might not always be going up this quickly, but I'm like, this is what's possible. And you're going to get a copy. And you have an opportunity now that you're excited about it to, you know, to get in so you can be involved with PulseChain. And I've got 2 of those people that are prepared to sacrifice. So that's super cool.
Well,
and those were purely tshare.app.
I was predicting that it would take several months for people to get this natural motivation built up by the price going up and by kind of stumbling into T-shares without even having to fully understand them. But I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, when the price moves faster, then it motivates people more, and so that's part of the mechanics of Hex doing its job. And so that's another thing that I want to advocate for, is for people to go ahead and send tshare.app to people that you don't have time to onboard, because there's going to be this whole extra social layer of people that I think that's our target audience, is people who kind of know somebody who did well in Hex. That's all of you who are watching this show. All of you millionaires in Hex have these huge social networks that you don't have time to onboard, but that Hex could onboard automatically through its number go up technology.
Exactly. You know, and what's so exciting to me about that is, like, you know, once they get the taste of it, it's like it takes advantage of that thing in people where, you know, Richard's always saying how people love to buy tops and sell bottoms, right? So they see the floor is lava, and there's this one big green island, and it's Hex, and it's killing it. It's doing 15, 20, 30% in a day compared to everything else that's the lava, right? And then what happens? People like want to buy the top. And what they don't realize is they've just stumbled into something that's nowhere near its top, right? And that they're also going to get a copy on the Pulse side. And they have an opportunity, if they keep digging a little deeper, that maybe they sacrifice and end up on the ground floor of Pulse. So it's like it's just like the perfect storm to help people. A little bit.
And
I think so
there's
too.
self-help. and there's therapy, and there's sun wealth. Like, it just keeps getting better.
Yeah,
Matti,
it's great,
we
man.
can
It's
make
great.
it even better if you want to. So I would have the opportunity and the offer to screen share my onboarding account, and we could do a live sacrifice. And if you want to, we can also use the tshare.app live.
Yeah, let's do
Cool.
it.
Cool. Can I ask one let me ask one question before you guys do that.
Can I use tshare.app on the laptop as well?
Yes.
Good. Then yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome because I was actually going to ask because I've not played around with the desktop version very much, so I'm also interested in seeing that. So I'll hang out to watch that for sure. But like one other question that I had as far as I don't know if and I'm like I said, I'm on vacation, so I'm not kind of as tapped in as I normally would be with things. But I know that there's a way to see the rankings of like where people are stacking up as far as where they are in the sacrificing. Is there a link for that yet? Is anybody kind of like shown? Because I know it's all these different chains. I don't know if anyone's consolidated that yet, or at least on the Hex thing, can you see the rankings of people's sacrifices?
We were waiting for somebody to ask so we could oust the God whale. I knew it was you.
Me? Not me. I wish,
I knew
dude.
it was
No.
you.
Not me, man. Not me. So, but I would love to see that. But yeah, but thank you so much for having me on. Hexo music video tomorrow on Discourse. It'll be late. It's after I get home. My flight doesn't get in until like when Discourse is almost over. So hang out to the end, and we're gonna release the video. It's super fun. Got some little like little Easter eggy type of fun stuff in there that I think people are really gonna enjoy. And then I'm gonna do Joe Hexotic on Monday that I'm a little nervous about. I've never done like a full one-on-one, and Joe goes pretty deep. But I'm excited to give it a try. And Joe, I think, has been killing it and doing such a good job for so long now that I'm glad to support his efforts. And so good to be on stream with you guys. And Patrick, I would love to see your demonstration.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Maddie, you kill it, dude. I love you so much. And like just seeing your evolution, like the people that have come on board later, like now that you're kind of like this big personality, and it's like, you've done these conferences and everything, like from the early days when it was just you behind that desk, and like just seeing you evolve and like come into your own. It's like it's really been an honor to watch you kind of, in my opinion, kind of become your highest best self, and all of that altruism and kindness that I could see that was inherent in you in those early streams, to see that kind of blossom into more of a bigger like personality has just really been thrilling and really inspiring. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words.
All right, Pat, what do you got?
Yeah, so please, Muddy, you can put down the HexLion handle and put up the screen share.
Okay, and first, I just want to call out everybody on this stream. I'm a fan of each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. Tim Benjamin was out there doing his retirement road trip. Go back and watch his YouTube videos. They're legendary. And I'm sure the legendary stories will continue to keep coming from him. He's a regular on Discourse Syndicate now on the FN Hangouts and just an all-around awesome community member. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And future us and I work together to create tshare.app and make it free for everyone. And we talk about game theory until 6 a.m. in the morning. And he's an invaluable member of the community and somebody.
So that's the dude. That guy over there. That's all nice, dude. Nice to meet you. Great job on that. That's fantastic. It's like you seemed vaguely familiar to me, but I wasn't sure exactly what the affiliation was. So congratulations. That's got to be exciting. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Like everybody in the Hex community is just building and building and building. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
I guess we already got more developers than the guest guys. We have definitely more than 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's so true.
I see there is a dev chat with, there are a lot of people who aren't devs, just like learning in the dev chat, but there are at least 50 good devs, and there are already more than 5 devs. Only we interviewed in the Crypto Sparbuch channel, right?
Wow. That's epic. Yeah, and thank you to you guys for everything that you've already done for the community and what's yet to come. I know that you guys have exciting adventures and your life is Instagram worthy, and you guys have, delivered at the first HEX conference a better understanding of T-shares. You guys made predictions that came true, and I can tell your friendship is strong. You guys did an awesome job helping out in Vegas, and I hear that you guys have another adventure planned.
Yeah, right now we are in Florida, just concentrating on onboarding and doing the videos, but then we want to go to work and really onboard in America, make a road trip, and we're gonna be around for 180 days, right?
Something around that, yeah. We are going to buy a car. We are going to wrap this car in HEX and Pulse merchandise. And we are doing that together with freedomtv.info, with the guys from Las Vegas, who also make really good content production and who were such a help, you know that, Maddie, during the event. And with those guys together, they will like organize the trip for us, you know, like where we go next, and be admins in a new chat room and all that stuff. And yeah, we are going to buy this car, wrap this car, and go through the entire country. And the idea is now in the summer months to go through the northern states, and when it becomes cooler, we go through the southern states. Like a zigzag something like a zigzag round trip.
And first, when I mentioned it to Patrick that we should do such a thing, then we thought it's going to be all fun and we're going to go to stand-up comedy shows and other events. But now we're thinking we should be going to work and promoting HEX on this road trip. And now this became the main focus.
So you guys are going to have like a continuous moving HEX meetup that's going to travel the United States.
Meetup through the entire country. That's
amazing. And I don't suppose you guys are going to put any of that online, are you?
They better.
Like anything, you know. I'm already thinking about putting a camera in the car to have like HEX explanation on the road or something like that.
That's great, man.
Right now I'm concentrating on Facebook, because they are having a good a quote, I would say, getting people interested in HEX. So this is what I'm doing, but I definitely have to step up my Instagram game and the YouTube, the travel videos I have to start again. But it's just so fun to speak to people all day and do this, you know, than creating YouTube videos. This is why I'm like focusing on that right now. But it will come, I promise that.
It's great. Another inspirational thing. It's like I got to talk to them a little bit in Vegas about these plans that they're sharing with everyone about the car and wrapping it and going around the country. And then, guys, for real, it's like I would love to be able to join you for like a little leg of the trip. You know, it's like you guys know where I am. Let's keep that on the DL, but we'll talk. And then when you get close to where I'm at, then, you know, we definitely got to hook up. And, you know, if I can get away.
That's the goal what we have, that like part of the time or all the time, or everybody like who would, you know, nobody has, or not so much people have like the time to share the entire trip with us, but you are not the first who is already talking to us in private, like, yeah guys, when you are like in this area, let's go together. I also jump in my car and then let's move to some nice places in my area together. And you know, that's the best way to explore a region, to be with a local who has already explored like the best things in his surrounding, and to go to those best places he already chose like decades from, you know.
And with all the HEXicans out there, because they support us so much, and every single one is helping us. It's just great.
I have a strange feeling though, because I'm a fair amount older than most of you guys, is that it'll kind of be like Frank the Tank in old school, and then maybe it'll bring out a bad side of me, and you know, it's like I'll be bonging beers and running down the street naked. So you're gonna have to just keep me from, you know, doing anything that's regrettable.
Well, what happens on the road trip stays on the road trip.
I bet you're not older than me.
I don't know, man. It's like I'm gonna be 50 this year, Tim. So.
I got you beat.
No way. Well, you look great.
I'll be 51 next week.
Okay, well, congratulations. You'll have to send me your skincare regimen. This guy has got the face of an angel.
So time to officially retire and come with us, or what do you think?
Dude, I'm not there yet. I think Tim's retired already. He should jump on board.
Well, pretty much retired. After I actually retired, I offered a couple of days of a week to my former employer because she's a Hexican too.
Right.
So I wanted to give her an opportunity to build up a stack, and but I'm taking another road trip here next month, and this time I'm really done because it's pretty self-explanatory at this point.
Sure. Yeah, I'll probably be semi-retired hopefully by later this year. Hopefully entirely by the end of the year, and then I can focus on some philanthropic efforts, some more hex creation stuff, and a coral farm, like I've mentioned before.
There is so much future to come. It's awesome. Awesome times we are living in.
I think Toby dropped.
Whoa! Look at that! Look at that wallet balance.
Yeah, I started it last year in December, so after the big payday, with $1,500, and I already gave away over. So nearly 200,000 hex I already gave away from this wallet.
Wow.
Wow.
To onboard people and help them start their hex staking ladder.
Exactly. So I guess I should just start the explanation. So make a timestamp right now, please, people out there. Now we are going to sacrifice life. What are we going to do? At first, we are going on PulseChain.com. Here we have all the informations. If you want to read all the informations first, what it is. Now I'm going to show you how to click, how to do it. We go and open that. First, at PulseChain.com, we need to take care that we don't have any Russian I's or Spanish N's or something like that shit in the domain name. Then open that. Here we have Connect Wallet. I press Connect Wallet. Wallet connected. I can check if it's really my address. I open up my MetaMask. It takes just a second. I just put the computer here. Let's put it like this. Yeah, you see me as well a bit. So we see our address here. We can check it down here. The first few things and the last few. Okay, good. Then we scroll down and then we see select network. And here we are selecting which blockchain network we want to sacrifice from. As we are always recommended is go with your money into Hex first. And that's why we are also able to have this amount of money into our wallet right now. And that's why we are going to sacrifice Hex. Hex lives on the Ethereum blockchain. Let's frame it like that. So I click Ethereum, and here I'm shown an address, and on this address I need to sacrifice. To verify this address, I can click on those social verification links, and I have a warning. And because here down there I have all the individual so-called ERC20 tokens, where I also see like, okay, the hex, and here I can view the contract address. Don't send money directly to the contract address. Only sacrifice your money to the main sacrifice address to be in the set of PulseChain recipients. Yeah. So I click on copy here.
So if you're sacrificing, the end of that address is 62CB, and that's the right one. You're not going to send it to the Hex contract because you will not get any credit and your money will be lost.
I also see in this step, I am connected with this green point here. I see again my address. I see my assets. Then I'm choosing which assets to sacrifice. We are choosing the hex. You see, I already sent it 40,000 hex and 20,000 hex. I'm going to send another 20,000 hex because the goal. So we had 302,000 hex in the balance. And our goal with the onboarding account is to sacrifice 2/3 of this liquid balance. So I go send.
Awesome.
I put it in. I look again the last four dots, the first four as well. I can see it here, the first ones. Then I need to choose how much. Please don't click next right now. Choose the amount first. I already had somebody just making a transaction fee because he forgot to send an amount. I put the 20,000 hex we want to sacrifice right now. We see the gas price. I even go a bit higher just to be on the safe side right now, that I'm sure that it goes through in time during the live stream right now. It's not really busy right now. We see it's $1.99. We can even have a look at the hex price. We are at 15.9 cents. So it's still more than the value of my first sacrifice, which increases the average of my entry. That's why I'm convinced to do that right now. Here we have everything again. We click confirm and it's processing. Let's go back here. Let's go back in the MetaMask. We can have a look at our transaction. I'm just waiting for the MetaMask to open up. It always takes a few seconds. Don't know why it's not instant. We see a queue right here. We see here the pending transaction. When we click on it, we see details. And if you want, you can even see more details by clicking on this blue arrow. It brings you to the main site where you see all the blockchain transactions happening on the Ethereum blockchain. Here we see our transaction hash. We see that it's still pending. It sees estimated confirmation duration about 45 seconds because we made a fast transaction. Now you see, boom, already success. We see that we're interacting with the HEX contract address, and we transferred tokens from our onboarding address to the sacrifice address. You see it here. The last four dots are 62CB. Again, to show you the right address, 62CB. I already had people mentioning that they don't see this address. What you see here is your personal Ethereum address. This, what you see here, is my onboarding Ethereum address. What you will see there is your address, and on this address you will receive the Pulse in the future. Yeah, and that's it. We sacrificed, as it sees, a value of 3,275. Looks good.
And made a political statement. The political statement, maybe we can talk about that. That blockchain is freedom of speech, and we shouldn't be censored by high fees and not be able to do whatever you want to do under the blockchain. We want free speech, and that's why we need PulseChain, and it's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think $130 million agrees with you so
Matti,
far in the first
right?
20 hours.
Matti, now I would need to
And that's just of HEX, right?
A 1,000 HEX 5555 stake. Can you help me with that? What should I do right now?
Oh, go in the description
there you go.
in the
Cool.
YouTube below to quattrocincos.club.
So I don't go to t-shirt.app? I thought I should go to t-shirt.app right now to do that.
Okay, go to t-shirt.app and we'll see what options are available there. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to leave the best staking strategy for people to discover after they've been shepherded into T-shares. And so in the T-share app, you can only do a 5, 10, or 15-year stake, but not a 15.2-year stake, because we want people to be able to find that on their own and to get excited and to feel their own success.
Okay, yeah, with 15 years, I'm fine. So I click on the HEX. Click on the HEX. Click on the HEX. Click on the HEX. Here we go. Click on
there goes the token. And the claw comes out of the HEX. Okay. The clock is ticking down.
Should we do like some intense
you can
music?
You can lose this
Ding,
game.
ding, 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 ding.
You
Ding,
click on
ding,
the
ding, ding, ding.
as There's a few of you.
So
You lost the game somehow, man.
yeah. So
I'll
there,
try to-
there's buttons
Wait,
there.
what? I've never seen anybody lose the T-share game. What the hell?
The buttons only go up and to the right, just like Hex.
I
go
need to
ahead
press
and-
these buttons with my mouse pad.
So
Game
go
over.
ahead and-
To try again. I tap game over.
I think you have to
try again.
refresh the page.
No, it's like you just need to read the
There you
page. Tap.
Hey, Patrick,
just read it.
Hey, don't feel bad. The same thing happened to me in front of Maddie. Like while I was trying to do it, I just
It's
couldn't.
more rewarding if you lose first.
Yeah. it's just-
Yeah, there you
This
go.
is-
You can't understand the hex code and everything related to it in the first 15 seconds. And now we grab the heart, right? Da, da,
Good
da,
job,
da.
guys.
Now you hit the. There it is.
Success.
Bravo.
All right. Well done.
Keep the prize. Mint
So the
prize.
wallet, it already knows you have Hex. It already knows that you have enough gas. And it gives you this juicy button to press that you'll become addicted to. Just
So
kidding.
let's make it
Entertainment
500
purposes
next
only.
15 years then. That's fine. That's fine. We have okay.
Well, now the gas fees seem really high somehow. But it's just the Ethereum network.
Let's
We're
make
gonna-
it a bit smaller.
We're going to
Why
have
not?
the
I
T-shirt
can
app
do
on
that
the
as well.
PulseChain as well, right, Maddie? And then it's the
No
onboarding-
expectation of the work of future us.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
Okay, 23 is the low. I go with 20. It should go through within the next few hours. And I have like still 22 hours left
Nice.
until the HEX smart contract turns over. So I will put more gas limit than it wanted because the Ethereum network only will use as much gas as it needs.
Yep.
So, and I put down the gas price because the miners will take it with 20 Gwei as well, I guess. It will only take more than just a minute.
Hey guys, let me chime in there for a second because I had a real world situation while I was on vacation. All of a sudden, Richard decides to do the sacrifice, and I was kind of crapping my pants a little bit because I was prepared, but I kind of wasn't prepared. You know what I mean? It's like it's not something you want to do while you're traveling, ideally. And all of a sudden, it's happening. And then on top of that, I had a stake that was ending. And this actually was last week when I was traveling when I had the stake ending. So I was already on pins and needles about the sacrifice happening. I'm trying to end the stake. And this is like right before I went on this trip. And I end the stake and it cost me $131 in gas. $131. So it's like something that we need to just remind everyone. You know, one of the big things about Pulse is not only the faster throughput and the better security and the truly proof of stake network, but cheap for the foreseeable future. You know, not something that's going to get jacked up with Berlin forks and London forks and all this other bullshit where they make you believe it's somehow securing the system, and it's essentially just a way to really take advantage of certain products that now are going to have new life on the Pulse chain. But it was $131, and I only had maybe $150 in that wallet, and I was moving it around thinking to myself, oh my God, am I going to have enough to do my sacrifices? Because I'm leaving tomorrow to do this other trip, and was kind of freaking out. And then also with Transact and Wire and those things, apparently they have like an annual limit, which some of you may or may not have bumped up against, but I was using it as an onboarding tool to show people how to do it. So I would do it with my own debit card, and I would walk them through, like sit next to them or screen share, and I would show them how it worked and like do a full transaction. So I used that way more than I normally would have, and I maxed it out. So with Transact and Wire, apparently you can only do $5,000 a year, and then you are done. So there's a weekly limit and there's an annual limit. So then I was like, oh, great. How am I going to get some more ETH to like make sure I have enough to do my transactions? And yeah, they're relatively cheap now, just like you guys saw with the great demonstration that Patrick did with sacrificing and with the T-Share app. However, you know, the end stakes are still quite costly, and, you know, Pulse solves all that.
Exactly, and I will get
Thanks,
this
Pulse.
stake copied over to the Pulse chain network as well. So if the ETH chain becomes inaccessible, I still have those 500 hex on the Pulse chain.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. Well, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to have to bounce. My fiance is blowing me up. And then also, oddly and kind of creepily, Papa Boner has been blowing me up in the middle of the stream. So when I dropped out earlier, he was trying to call me. So, Papa, number one, why aren't you watching Matty Allen right now? And then you would know I was on here and you would not be trying to call me. And also, you know I'm on vacation with my significant other. So I told you, don't call me when she's around. So anyhow, just teasing, of course. All right, but I'm gonna have to bounce, guys. Always fun coming on and being silly. So good. It feels like I'm hanging out with you again. You know, Vegas ended too soon. I can't wait for the next one, Maggie. Thank you guys so much. Once again, tomorrow night. Yeah, and all of you, like come to Discourse tomorrow night and hang out. You know, it's like it would be fun to have you guys on the hangout. It's like I would love to have you be there when we release Hexaco finally. I really would love to see your reactions and get some feedback. And yeah, come hang out tomorrow, and then keep an eye out for me with Joe on Monday. And
that's why we are here. That's why we are in the quiet area, that we can focus on spreading the information, on giving the people everything they need to know for the upcoming events. And we are looking forward to hang out with you for the Friday night hangout tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
That'd be great. That'll be great. Good luck, everybody. Thanks again, and best of luck with your DCAing or whatever strategy for the Pulse sacrifice. It's going to be real exciting, and just like a little bit of a TA thing. Typically, when you have like a big spike like that and it pulls back, that's usually a really good indicator if you're in an uptrend that that's where we're headed next. So that I don't think that 22 cents was a fluke. So just for what it's worth, I think we're going higher from here. Not financial advice. All right. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Maddie, thanks again for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. Hope I can come on again sometime.
Of course. My pleasure.
See you, Toby.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See you.
I know that, some people really wanted the satisfaction of seeing T-Share app go really fast. And so I will do a demonstration as well here. No, I'm just addicted to it. So I have to do a stake, so I'm going to hit. Can you guys see this here? So I hit.
On mobile,
you guys seeing this?
On mobile, you can hold down both buttons and go diagonally.
No way.
So you kind of, yeah.
How long has that been there?
Since the beginning. Maybe if you had two mouses or two mice on desktop, you might be able to do it.
I will try that. Okay. So is it connecting to my wallet here?
I am going to try that. That'll be hilarious.
You're out of HEX. It looks like, there we go. Okay.
Confirm. Now it's going to say awaiting confirmation. And we're going to see how fast the Ethereum blockchain can go. Now, we wouldn't be mad if somebody came up with a blockchain, I don't know, and they named it Pulse, and it was way faster than Ethereum and way cheaper.
Exactly. You click a button, and a few seconds later, it's like, ding, confirmed, and it only cost less than 1 penny. I'm really looking forward.
We could be just days away. I mean, the Pulse chain, it could launch here in 2-3 weeks.
The Richard in his last stream said that he is looking for the testnet to launch this week.
The public testnet, yeah.
The public testnet, exactly. And then each and every developer from each and every blockchain out there in the market can come on and test the shit out of the system and make suggestions if everything works fine, or if some things need to be adapted. I'm sure that this community will make the best conclusion out of it, and then everybody can run his tests, and when everybody is done in a few weeks, then we start and everybody gets his pulse and has a market to trade on.
Sounds like a dream come true.
I'm just checking one of my other wallets. I think it's a fiat wallet or something or other, and my number's not going up. But what's up? Something's wrong. They've got contact numbers I can call them.
I have a fun quote to share. My fiat portfolio is more diversified than my crypto portfolio. I had more different fiat currencies in my wallet. I could literally show you right now, as I have cryptocurrencies in my crypto portfolio.
Because of the traveling.
We talked to one of the leading experts in the German YouTube community or whatever, and he is like a Bitcoin guy, but Bitcoin Cash even more, all other coins. And you guys, he talked about Hex like crazy, promoted in his chat as well, in his Telegram chat. So I had the feeling that this was the best onboarding we ever did, with the all-time high, with the most views today. I'm just so freaking excited for what is going on. It's crazy.
Good job, guys. You guys are crushing it.
We still try to reach out to other German-speaking guys who are still blind to see the facts.
Oh yeah, this I wanted to say, because we talked about that before, and he was saying like, man, I'm not watching Bitcoin at all anymore, and this is the same experience that I'm having. I'm not watching Bitcoin at all. Back then you would, right? Before we were pegged to the USDC, we were pegged to Ethereum, and then we would look at Bitcoin at least a little bit, because when this went up, we went up, but when they went down, we still went up, right? And this is still happening today. Hex is more uncorrelated than ever and doing just new all-time highs when everything is going down. It's crazy. What are you doing here? What are you showing on the screen?
So this is go.tshare.app, and this is the wallet section where people can see the stakes that they've created in tshare.app. They can see their total stake summary here, and then each panel is a separate stake that they've made, and they can see the details there and control the stake. Don't want to hit that button unless you want to lose your entire principal. So we spelled that out a little bit more clearly.
Do I also see these stakes in go.hex.com or only on this side? Of course, yeah. Cool.
Because it's all on the blockchain. This is just a front end.
Yeah. No, I was wondering if it's like the front end from the same smart contract, or if you did a new one for T-shirt.
Oh, no. This goes directly to the HEX contract. There's nothing in between.
Cool.
And this is the future market supply chart that's interactive, and it's changing the number of days here in this box because I'm clicking around looking for a good day.
Nice. Cool. This is how it's supposed to be, right? This was the idea after all. Great, Maddie.
Well, a great future us who's implemented all of this. There's a button here to go back to tshare.app, play the game again, over and over again. Well, some people might want to get a 5, 10, and 15-year ladder down for themselves, right? And
it's also a recommendation of us, because in the German or in center of Europe, there is a community or a bank product which is designed to where you pay in for 60 months for 5 years, and after 5 years you receive the in payment and all the accrued interest. It's called a Bausparplan. And that's like a similar system, but instead of paying in each and every month, you take your money and put it for 5 years to work, and for 10 years to work, and for 15 years to work. And after 5 years, you can take your principal, put it for 15 years, just take out your interest, and 5 years later, you can again put the principal for 15 years, put out the interest, and so you have a dynamic staking ladder and only need to buy in once and have a money machine for your entire life.
And since there are so many people watching right now, I want to explain one little thing, what I'm doing with the HEX that I'm getting every October when my birthday is, right? So what I'm doing is, because I don't need the money, I'm staking it for longer. And this is really important. We only have the next couple of 1 or 2 years to do so, to gain more T-shares. In 5 years, I can maybe make a 15-year stake, but I will not gain more T-shares. Now is the time to restake longer, because we all made our staking ladder, and we all made stakes that are only 1, 2, or 3 years old, 3 years from now on, and this is way too short. You should stake longer, because for me, for example, I really wanted to stake longer than everybody else. This was really important to me. So I had a staking ladder with an average of 6 years. And when we started, the average was 4 years, but it's cramping up already, and we are at 5.5 years. I'm guessing 5.8 already. I'm guessing next year or in 2 years, I will already be under the average, and this is why it's important for me to stake for 15 years. All my stakes I'm getting out for the next 3 years.
And if you're doing that, you are increasing your personal average, so you can go with the rising average in your personal portfolio.
Yes. So I hope everybody has the same approach about that. We just talked about that on stream today as well. Like everybody else thinks we're gonna sell our HEX, right? We thought we would sell our HEX, but we do not do so because we wanted to buy a house, but we realized if we sell our HEX for the house, we'll have a huge opportunity cost, and now we are just renting.
Imagine how much this house would be worth when HEX hits $1. You know, it's like So we are just renting what we need, you know. And as it turns out, our life is not that expensive, you know. Go shopping a bit, go gambling in Vegas a bit, go and have a huge good dinner. You're muted, Matty.
Don't gamble.
Yeah, you need to say that, of course. But have fun in your life, you know. I need to say have fun in your life.
Yes.
But I guess, or like enjoy the time a bit in the clubs, you know. And right now we are in an Airbnb, not a huge expensive one, like a good average one. We are next to the lake. Our Airbnb hosts gave us a canoe today, so we paddled out on the lake and had the sun down there. So
and what we're doing
just fine,
is,
you know, having a good life.
What we're doing is to spend less money than we are actually earning by our stakes, and this is what's so great. And then when
way less.
When you restake for longer, you get more t-shirts, and then this how do you call it? Zinseszins.
A compound interest.
The compounding interest is really piling up then. So there's still a lot of work to do for me, and staking, and reordering my portfolio, and I'm so excited for that.
And those juicy 5 stakes or 15-year stakes are getting more and more and more interest power over time. That's the compound interest effect called the share rate or share price index.
And at the beginning of the stream, you mentioned our video about the power of T-shares. And this video, we have new information nowadays. The average staking length is a little bit different when we made the video. So we will update this video every single year in December or January. You will
whenever Maddie makes his yearly online conference, then we make an update of this presentation, because I guess this is like a nice way to put it, you know, for each and every year. Where are we? Where are we now? What is the difference? Why is this difference? And where do we think we are heading in the next 12 months?
So every time we will get
a new... It helps that you guys were right. It helps that you started off being right.
Yeah, I like to be right, yeah.
we were pretty right. Like some things
but you know,
wrong,
I was wrong. I was wrong with one thing. I said for the HEX price that it will reach this year between 5 and 20 cents. So I... I'm wrong since today, and I'm really glad that I'm wrong on this point. I'm enjoying myself.
It did.
Like never before after being wrong for something.
Nobody knew what the total supply of T-shares was going to be going forward into the next year. You guys nailed it. You said that it was going to go up a little bit and then it would be deflationary, and that helped me understand what the long-term total T-share count was going to look like. It's a line that goes up and down, but the trend is down over time because it's deflationary. You need to put more fiat and you need to put more HEX in order to generate the same amount of T-shares, of course. Yeah. And so that.
So in the future, if there is like a time frame of 4 or 6 months where the total amount of T-shares keeps rising, this is also equivalent with the rise of the HEX price, because somebody needs to buy those more HEX to put in so much more T-shares, you know.
And this is the best indicator. If you make this graph going up, then we have mass adoption.
That's right.
But it's good. It's gonna be a lot of work, Matty. We're gonna pump out a lot of videos, onboard thousands of people, and I think with PulseChain now we're gonna do that. With Ethereum it was kind of clunky, you say, right? It was.
Yeah, a lot of people got like failed transactions, or with the Uniswap swapping at times of high volume. People were writing me today, I have like problems that it goes through. It says like that or that error, and then explaining it, here with slippage and so on and so far, and helping those out. This is way better on a dedicated proof of stake blockchain, which has a block size of not a block size, a block speed of 3 seconds. Maybe future us can explain us like why this is superior as a user experience as well.
Well, I had a pretty encouraging onboarding experience the other night. A man that I've known since the early 2000s who was instrumental in helping me get started in my profession. We've talked on the phone periodically about crypto, and he finally bought in he basically bought Bitcoin at the top. And
that's over 60,000.
Yeah, he bought at the top, and he called me and told me that, and I had already told him about HEX, and he started asking me some questions about some other coins, and I'm just like, yeah, I've heard of these things, but I really don't know anything about them. I don't pay attention to crypto anymore. I said, I'm only in HEX, and I told him that before. Well, after the price dropped, he called me and was lamenting that fact, and I told him. And I told him to look into HEX, and then I told him about the PulseChain sacrifice was coming up real soon to pay attention. And he was like, well, can you just kind of send me a text or something when this sacrifice starts? And I said, sure. I was going to text him last night, and about 5 minutes before I texted him, he called me. And he called me to tell me that he, without any help from me, he managed to get a MetaMask wallet, exchange his Bitcoin for Ethereum, send his Ethereum into his MetaMask wallet, swap it for HEX, and stake it all by himself.
Wow.
Student surpasses master.
Awesome sign.
And he called me to tell me that he did that because he was like, this Bitcoin, it lost half of its value and it hasn't done anything for weeks. And he's like, I'm just sick of it. And, I remember Tim kept telling me about this HEX thing. So he looked into it all himself and told me how he did all this. And I was just shocked. So
just like a pirate would do, right?
And here's the best thing. He bought into HEX before we pumped. He bought in at 8 cents.
Nice.
So he already doubled his money, and he already got the value he invested back. Awesome.
He made all his money back in like 3 days. Just boom.
So time to tell everybody out there. No, time to tell everybody.
I mean, it just felt so good to me to have somebody, at least be motivated to figure out how to do all of this, because it's not that hard. I mean, if you have any basic programming, and I know he does, he's done his own websites and stuff. So I knew that if he was really serious, he could figure out how to get MetaMask and how to install it and use Coinbase and all that. And yeah, he did. He did all of it. And called me last night to tell me that he staked it, right before the price went up. And I was just like, wow, it really just made my night last night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's some interesting question in the chat. Benny Bill says, ask him how hard it was to find clear instructions on it. And I would have to do that as well. Because
I would have to ask him. The next time I talk to him, I can ask him that.
This is what I always ask when somebody tells me, hey, I'm already having HEX and I'm excited I'm asking them, where did you find the information? and it seems that the people are doing pretty good. The latest guys, like the last couple of people I talked to, they even had crypto already, so it was so easy for them to understand. Just switch Ethereum to HEX and then sacrifice it. They did beautiful already.
Yeah, people are understanding PulseChain much easier than HEX, because HEX is a complicated smart contract to understand it completely. We are trying to give you the best and easiest understanding of it, especially Matti with paying your future self. That and no coin understands like immediately what he's going to do right now. And yes, then you go in the rabbit hole, you find out about this new function of compounding interest called the share rate and share price, and so on and so far. And with PulseChain, people are understand it way better, way easier, and that's why you saw in the last 24 hours already coming in more than, I guess, 110 million US dollars already in the sacrifice address, or in the sacrifice set, in the whole set.
Is 24 hours done already, or haven't we?
No, we are still only like 17, 18 hours in the game, or 19,
right.
Something like that.
Yeah, because the sacrifice didn't start until after midnight my time. So yeah, and it's only set 20 after 7 where I'm at.
What do you guys think? How much money could be sacrificed at the end of the sacrifice phase? I would like to hear the number.
Jeez.
Because I think it's gonna be $1 billion. I want to see this number, and maybe even more.
That seems like a round number. I mean, considering what we've seen on day one, now we don't know if the sacrifice is going to increase over time or decrease, because the sentiment for most of this time was to get in within the first couple of days. So
money tends not to foment, right? So
on the first 5 days, we are all treated the same. You don't have a time loss. So I'm guessing people going in the 5th day even harder than on the first day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't consider that. But yeah, I'd say at least $1 billion. I mean, Matty just said 10, so.
Oh man.
The price of HEX will keep going up. Maybe the liquidity will be low and the price will just start to spike out of control, and then people will shake out their weak hands, and the whole process will repeat through day 5.
Saying liquidity isn't low, so even if you're a higher volume guy out there, you won't wreck yourself like in lots of different other crypto projects. So only in the Uniswap version 2 automated market maker, you have a total liquidity right now, I'm just looking at it, of 15 million US dollars. So there is plenty of liquidity for everybody to buy
liquidity.
Everything what you want.
How much HEX is that?
It's 47 million HEX and 4.5 million USDC. So each side is like in the version 2.
A 20th of what's been sacrificed?
Just a tiny little part of what got sacrificed, but you need to keep in mind as a new guy, if you have even $1 million worth to invest, you just need to dollar cost average in yourself. If you are going with 50,000 steps, you have less than 1% of price change of slippage against you. So if you go with smatcha.xyz, you have HEX in the drop-down menu list again. You can put limit orders as well. Just need.
Okay. Yeah. So you think that Richard Hart is not going to sacrifice his billions of Bitcoin and his billions of ETH?
You really think that
the OA isn't going in super hard?
You really think that Richard Hart, after calling the top on the day, still has billions worth of Bitcoin left? I don't think
something.
I think that he already stays like in USDC or in more HEX or something like that, you know. So I don't think that Richard Hart has a big bag of Bitcoin left.
What reason does he have to sell, you know?
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, because he called it, you know. I also am making my calls and I'm acting according to my calls, you know. Aren't you? Aren't you acting according to your own thoughts?
He's
No.
been busy with a couple of projects, you know, so he probably just didn't
I
get
just
time.
stay busy and then number goes up, so I don't have time to sell. I would sell. Let's be clear. I would sell if I had time to sell.
I personally sold Ethereum at $4,000, and this was the money I used in Vegas, for example.
Hell
Yeah, I haven't followed my own calls because I've been sick since I got back from Vegas. And when I'm sick, I get really like negative thoughts. And I never said a word to this out loud to anybody. But before we got these big candles, I was actually thinking Hex was going to dump it back down to like 5 cents. And that the whole PulseChain was just going to flop. I mean, I was just entertaining all this stuff in my head because I was sick. So no, I don't follow my own calls.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you said were like possibilities. You were like running possibilities in your brain, you know.
Well,
But
just
you
watching
made
us.
a decision because, you know, I'm talking about the real human action and not like the psychology around it. I'm
Sure.
talking just about the human action, which is the acting itself. And usually people do what they want to do, you know, and a lot of people have like different things what they want to do, and yeah.
Well,
Just act
fortunately,
accordingly.
I'm very happy to have been wrong with my calls.
Yeah, I mean, as I said already, I'm really also very happy to be wrong with my 20 cents top prediction of the beginning of the year. I'm really, really glad that this is a wrong prediction.
Yeah,
I have
was
no
just
idea
doing
what
some...
the price is going to do. What do you think, future us?
Me? I think there'll be there'll be periods of price go up, periods of price go down, and crypto will be the winner of the day.
Cool.
I know what.
I liked Richard's tweet today. Imagine a world where Pulse, EHEX, and PHEX are number 1, 2, and 3 of the crypto coin lists.
That's what I've been. That's what I was thinking.
That's the new goal for us.
Yep, 100%.
Well, I'm pretty confident HEX will not trade in US dollars outside the range of about 2.4 cents to $42. It'll stay in that channel.
What's your confidence in that call?
And at what
Fairly
price-
high. I might have to move the upper range up a little bit, depending on how the sacrifice thing goes. But yeah, I'm
You know my
pretty
prediction: when we hit $7, we will have a small dip.
confident. Yeah.
At what price
Good.
do we dethrone Bitcoin? Do we know that? Like, do we have new numbers?
$1.07 is what Gerardo posted a couple days ago. That's what we need to overcome Bitcoin. Ethereum, we'll pass Ethereum at 40 cents and Bitcoin at $1.07.
Yeah, those numbers
That's
are
insane.
I'm
And
pretty
And that's
sure,
assuming Ethereum and Bitcoin hold their current values and don't
Yeah, and
descend.
that's based on their book value.
I'm pretty sure I'll know you guys for quite some time, you know, in the future. And so I will let you know when I buy back my Bitcoins for pennies on the dollar. Okay?
Yeah, really.
I'll let you know because I traded Bitcoin for HEX a while back. And, you know, maybe someday, you know, when the number goes up so much, maybe when there's a nice little flippening or hexening going on, maybe that'll be the day I go through my nostalgia phase and, you know, pay 1 HEX for 1 Bitcoin or something.
Antique collector. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little piece of, you know, history. The first
Yeah.
Black
So
Swan event. in
actually,
crypto.
one T-share, if you just stake for 1 day, is already worth more than 1 Ethereum, right?
Yes.
Should be 1.5. Right?
The cost of the T-share is yes.
Yeah.
How much is the cost of T-share right now?
If you only take 1 day,
If you take 1 day,
1 day.
it's 18,000 something hex.
246.
18,246.
how,
Nice.
how much is it in dollars though?
Yeah, 1846. No,
2,896.
2,800.
It's on go.tshare.app.
Yeah.
Actually, go.hex.com is showing $3,125.
Yeah, because it's
Darn it.
locked to the when the
Once a day,
turnover.
it updates.
So
Right.
they are living in the turnover price
But
of the day.
still,
Only
that's
updating once a day.
a lot more than an Ethereum.
That's a shit lot more than one Ethereum.
Yes, it's like almost like $1,000 more.
2,910 on GoTish now, so it's already up another about $30 or something since I last spoke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get your money printers, people. Get your money printers, and then get something of the new best blockchain in the space.
Yeah. Do you want me to rant about what the experience will probably be like what you mentioned before?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead. I'd like to hear that from developers.
Which experience?
The experience of operating on it.
Futures, I think I have to sign out. I'm really, really hungry, so I grab some food. I don't know if Patrick wants to stay.
Of course, I want to hear what Futures is
Just go like
saying.
this,
Okay.
and I'm heading out. Everybody, it's gonna be so nice to participate in the sacrifice phase, and the most important thing, tell everybody about it. This is so important to do right now. We have only day one right now. You are still early if you sacrifice tomorrow. So sign out. Thanks, Maddie, for having me.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah. I've been able to onboard both my friends, so I'm 100%. So that's cool.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, my onboarding bags are full. I got both my friends in, so I'm. Yeah, when you live in a cave on a keyboard, it's funny how you don't make a lot of friends necessarily, but I am now, so that's cool. It's a blast from the past. Okay, so
go ahead.
So 3-second blocks and transaction fees that essentially make it that every transaction goes through, which PulseChain isn't launched that. We don't know all the technical parameters of exactly how.
I just speculate a little bit for me right now before the testnet goes live. Yeah,
so let's just assume that it works the way Richard intends it to work, and we do have some precedent for that type of outcome. A 3-second block time, that gives you an average transaction wait time, the wait for a transaction to go through of 1.5 seconds, because you might send your transaction just before the next 3 second, or you might put it just after the next 3 seconds. So if you hit a transaction and there's only like 0.1 of a second left to go in that 3-second block, and you get included, well, you've just completed your transaction confirmed in 0.1 of a second, and that will and can happen. But on average, about 1.5 seconds actually. So
but it will be like an instant user experience, right? Compared to blockchains.
By the time MetaMask refreshes its thing and downloads your balance again, it's already late. It's done on the chain, and it just enables so many different things that you can do. And there are other chains that haven't been successful in the long term because they, for all kinds of reasons, mostly not understanding economics enough, I guess. So I've experienced it. I've played around on other chains that are proof of stake and have these like 5-second block times and that, and it's a completely different world. It feels radically different to use it. And not only that, but because of that, dApp developers can do all kinds of things you just can't do when the user has to wait 45 seconds, a minute or 2 hours, get stuck transactions. You get one stuck transaction in MetaMask in your queue, and nothing else. You can't do anything until you get that.
Yeah, you cannot do anything. You need to reset your MetaMask, and then you need to reset this queue, and then you can start over again. I had a lot of those examples already in the German community.
Welcome to crypto.
Yeah, right. So when that kind of goes away, and you can be going, oh yeah, I want to do that. Yeah, I'll have some of that. Click this. Yeah, I'm in there. And that's the kind of speed you're operating at the user interface end now. And compare that to, okay, I hit confirm, double check the gas price. Oh yeah, 1 minute maybe, I should be good. Oh crap, gas price peaked. Oh, now it's an hour. Maybe I'll speed it up. You know, I mean, you've already forgotten what it was you were trying to do at this point. You're so focused, if you even know how, on getting all that sorted, you know. And yeah, it's just it's trust me, it's a very different user experience. You won't know yourself.
Yeah,
Very,
and it's
very
hard
different.
for new people to even know where to look for help because there's so many scammers there to serve them.
New people on PulseChain will just be, what are you talking about? It does what it's, what? No, you used to press this button and then it wouldn't go through, and but that's stupid.
Yeah,
well,
people are gonna be like, why would anybody have let it be so bad back then?
Yeah. Now, in theory, the PulseChain network could become saturated and things could slow down a little bit. You know, but yeah, design parameters. I speculate that a lot of that has been accounted for in the short to medium term anyway, and its design. But I don't know because I haven't seen it. I'm not part of the inner circle. I'm just too busy making fluffy hearts.
And the fluffy hearts, they've been serving people well, I think.
Yeah. So no, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic in so many ways. And just the velocity of value, that when you've got 3-second blocks and transactions not getting jammed up all the time, the velocity of transactions increases. And you know, the health of a country's nation currency is pretty much, well, GDP, right? And it's measured in velocity, volume of transactions, and that kind of thing. The health, not the price. Price can still go down, inflation can still go up, but you know how vibrant your business community is and all that kind of thing is all about velocity. And so it's, you know, velocity, having the ability to have high velocity gets people excited, and it's just another force multiplier from an economics point of view.
And the more trades, individual trades we get on the Pulse chain, the better it is for the total supply to get reduced on a faster space, right?
Because of fee burning.
Will burn a tiny little bit of its fee.
A lot of people are shocked to hear that that Ethereum does not have a cap on its total supply. Like, we keep hearing that Bitcoin has the 21 million total cap and it can never be changed. Well, A, that's not correct. The Blockstream people could just say we're going to change the code and now we're going to have 40 million, but that's a whole nother discussion. But Ethereum doesn't, and I'm pretty sure it's because, you know, Vitalik realized that if it became popular and the price went up, then the fees would get too expensive. So I guess by not having a cap and having infinite potential inflation, that should keep the price down. You know, so transaction fees don't get too expensive. I imagine that was the thinking. I don't know, but there is no cap.
Well,
and whereas PulseChain,
he kept enough that he could, you know, make sure that the price could go down too, right?
Yeah, no. Look, hats off to Vitalik. I got nothing negative to say about that man, and you should be ashamed.
So as a developer, you're basically saying, to sum it up, you will have, or there is a really high chance that you will have a much better user experience than on the Ethereum blockchain.
Absolutely. On the Pulse chain, yeah. And caveat, flip side of the coin, it's also going to be much easier for every kind of Ponzi scheme and scam you've ever seen to come and do some quick money, get rich quick scheme thing. So, you know, watch out for it. It's just because it's Pulse chain doesn't mean everything that's on it's going to be awesome.
Only stick with the projects and products Richard Hart is doing and recommending. Don't fall for scams on the Pulse chain. Please don't. Don't think about putting your Pulse into like each and every stuff which is coming out of the Pulse chain. Don't do that. It's a no-go strategy.
You're gonna see
coming out really good cloud projects on the Pulse chain. I'm actually sure about that, and there might be like some nice games you want to play maybe, but be aware what you do with your money, and the best money printer out there will be HEX even after the Pulse chain launch.
Yeah. One of the first things that cropped up on these other chains, because they had the speed, is you start getting Ponzi scheme things that come up and go, lock your money for 1 week at a time, and you get interest payouts. They call it dripping. Like every 5 seconds, you can watch your money go up, and that sort of nonsense becomes possible when you've got a network that can do it. But just don't fall for it. It's nonsense. Yeah. What he said and that. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be what we've all been waiting. I mean, the only reason PulseChain doesn't already exist, in my opinion, or a fork of Ethereum that took the full system state, is because we've waited so long and had so much faith that the Ethereum Foundation would get it done. And it's a hard thing. They've got like what, $260 billion, and one thing devs, from a dev's point of view, when you're writing code and you realize that if you stuff it up somehow and the other devs don't catch it, that you could lose, you could bankrupt some family, mum, pop, and 3 kids or something or other, if it goes wrong because of what you did, right? So there's which is good. You should be worried about it, but it also creates, I think, a culture where pushing out that new update gets delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. If you don't have some kind of centralized boss who says, okay, so we can't pull that off yet, let's just narrow the scope down to here, let's get that done, let's get that rolled out, and then we can worry about the new features and so forth. If you're designing code with a committee, you're going to blow your budget, you're going to blow your time frame, you're going to blow everything. It's just natural. So it's not really a surprise that it's taking so long, and it's not clear if they'll ever actually get there, even though they're so close, just because of the sort of, this is opinion of course, but just because of the sort of political makeup of the thing. But whatever they do finally produce, you can be fairly confident that it'll be.
I mean, just an example. In the beginning of this stream, you showed us the Electrum wallet, and I showed you with the screen share how to sacrifice. Which user interface was more interesting? Only the little decentralized application for the sacrifice phase is already more informational, more better for the eye, a way better user experience as the Electrum wallet, which is around since years.
Well, the narrative changed, didn't it, for Bitcoin? So when Bitcoin became just a store of value, I mean, what incentive is there to make the wallet very functional to do a bunch of things?
But which value is it stored, We had the examples already, like I bought Bitcoin 3 months ago. It's a shit store of value if you did that.
That's true. But the narrative, nevertheless, is still that. And when that's the narrative, no one's going to get a team of 6 devs together to make a wallet that offers an awesome user experience, because why, right? That's all it does. Put the number in, take the number out.
We are already in July. There is one thing I'm not watching, but usually the quarterly statement from Tesla should be already out. Did they sold on everybody's head again, like they did in the first quarter, or not? What does their quarterly stock report say? Anybody knows? Because usually it should be out, right? Now it's the 15th of July. It should be out in the first few weeks of July, right? Or am I wrong? No, I guess I'm not talking to any stock guys here. I thought you might know.
They all do their reports on their own schedule, usually, right?
Yeah, that's right, when they have their earnings. Like, but I guess Tesla is like, beginning.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised because, again, there's a.
I mean, that's my guess. Just looking at those charts,
They're gatekeeping Bitcoin news because they're gatekeeping Hex news.
Yeah, so what more Hex news do you have to share? I was just like, I don't know.
That's a really good question, right? And we know that something that I learned just recently here in the past week is that Mt. Gox is supposed to dump their coin soon, well, we already knew that. No, the Grayscale is going to dump theirs soon because their locks are expiring. They did 6-month locks with everybody, and those are going to expire. So watch and see the narrative still talk about how you should value your wealth in Bitcoin, and it'll still go up all the time, but then look at
So
real information.
another story. Before the first day of HEX, I had a shitcoin portfolio from back of the autumn and winter of 2017, which was like minus 70%, minus 80%, minus 90%. And then we started with HEX, and on a 8-hour or 7-hour live stream in the end, Richard said, if I had a bag of different cryptocurrency, I would consider to put those cryptocurrencies into the adoption amplifier and see what it will and see what happens, you know. And then the legendary tweet where he said 2020 might be the year where Bitcoin outperforms the US dollar, Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin, and HEX outperforms Ethereum. And I still remember this tweet, and I acted according to it, and it was the best decision of my life. So don't oversee this opportunity right now, because here is the right side of crypto. We are promoting that you are keeping your money into your hands, only accessible with your own secret key, as Maddie refers to it. And the secret key nobody else knows, and you are in charge of your money. You are your own bank. You can create your own money printer when it comes to HEX, and you can be part of the newest, best blockchain coming out soon in the crypto space.
And you can follow awesome people like Motley, the investor, who's here in the chat. I know he's going over 1,000 subscribers and doing a really good job.
Yeah, I saw
Motley,
I saw Belliot in the chat. Shout out to Benny Bills as well. A lot of streamers in the chat here as well. Thanks for everybody to show up. Thanks for everybody to show some love to the stream of Maddie, to give their likes, to give their subscription, to cross promote each and everybody in the HEX family, because we are a giant family. Nobody needs to go against somebody else. We can cross promote each and everybody and bring up each and everybody together. As I said sometimes before as well, if the HEX price is rising, it rises for all the Hexicans at the same time and the same rate.
There's abundance here in this community, and that's because HEX is leading the way as being the only true crypto, as Wales and many others love to say. That HEX is something that hasn't existed before in terms of being completely immutable, being the only finished product, not a promise coin. And thanks to everybody who's been tuning in. Do we have any last comments here before we raid Knights of the Crypto Roundtable?
No, I was just going to suggest that I need to get going. I'd like to make some dinner. But
me too, actually.
I really want to encourage people, while there's so many exciting times going on in HEX right now, remember to keep taking care of yourself. You should be sleeping and eating and taking time where you're not obsessively thinking about the price of HEX and about sacrifice.
I cannot get so much hours of sleep right now. It's like 6 hours of sleep, and then I'm like, oh, what's new? What's new and exciting right now?
So
4 out of 5.
How much do you sleep? Let's ask the advisor. How much hours do you sleep right now?
I did a full amount of sleep last night. I also ran 3.69 miles, and I think I could do a little bit better with eating more food. But I think, I've been tuning in. I've been excited. I want to make sure that everybody hears the message of self-care, because I think my prediction is that we will continue to have super exciting times in the days to come. There will be lots of exciting things happening. And so I want to make sure everybody takes care of themselves, because part of your wealth is your mental health. And with that being said, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Future Us, do you have any final points?
I just happened to be looking at the screen on Nomics. We're obviously still number 3, 92 billion. And I don't care so much for the numbers, but I love the rank. Number 3, 92 billion. The number Tether, who's 62, still hasn't changed. So we're now 50% higher in market cap than Tether.
Whoa.
Probably can't be caught now. And we're still approximately just under 2.5x away from flipping Ethereum, which is
Wow.
so likely to happen now. It gives
The
me
price is
gigabytes.
over 16 cents as well. Awesome times to go. I'm so excited for the next days to come. I will stick to my strategy. I will dollar cost average into Pulse by sacrificing parts of my HEX. You know how to do it. You saw it live on stream today. You know how to use t-shirt.app. Have fun, enjoy the game, stake some money for your future self, and just leave it for 6 months and then have a look again. You know, what is my stake doing actually? And then you can already see like, wow.
That's right. So go ahead and raid Dollar Cost Crypto and Knights of the Crypto Roundtable in the comments. I dropped the link. And that's all for now from Hex Therapy Live. We'll see you guys again soon. Stake wisely and sacrifice wisely, my friends.
Good night, everybody.